event. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Eyewitness News at 11. I'm Gretchen Beyer. The Utica community is still reeling from last Friday night's fatal shooting of a teenage boy in West Utica with an officer involved. According to Utica police, 13-year-old Nyam Way was with another male in the 900 block of Shaw Street between Sunset and Lincoln Aves. Our reporter Jessica Landman has the latest details.
Police say they were conducting the stop as part of an investigation of a robbery in recent nights. The pair that was stopped fit the description of the suspects in the investigation. In the body-worn camera video released by the Utica police the day following the incident, you can see two young men, one on foot and one on a bike. Police can be heard explaining that teens were being stopped because they had been walking and riding in the road. One officer is heard asking Nyam Way if it was all right. The officer frisked him to see if he had any weapons. At that point, Way ran away. 3 police officers proceeded to chase him. At one point, not long after the start of the foot pursuit, an officer involved in the chase was heard yelling, "He's got a gun." A freeze frame of one of the 3 chase videos released shows the youth turned with what appeared to be a weapon in his hand. He is seen to be turning back toward the pursuing officer. Way is tackled to the ground. A second officer comes up on Way and the officer struggling on the ground. A shot is heard and the officers, 2 struggling with Way and a third standing back, away. After a quick assessment of the situation, officers call for an ambulance and begin CPR. Way died at Wynn Hospital. The following day, Saturday morning, at Utica City's Hall, Mayor Michael Galimi and Utica police officials attempted to explain what happened Friday night and what would happen next in the case. A large number of people, including the family of the deceased and a good number of members from the local caring community, jammed into the lobby on the first floor of City Hall. Mayor Michael Galimi spent a few minutes speaking with the mother and other family members of the Way family. Several times the gathered crowd interrupted the conference, and eventually city officials decided to suspend the public conference. Saturday night, Utica police made available online the body-worn camera footage of the incident, as well as other material regarding the case. Today, Utica Police Chief Mark Williams stated this perspective on what happened Friday night leading up to the fatal shooting.
And most people don't realize is that when you look at video running in real time, you don't always see what is actually being captured on video. An example of that would be that our body-worn cameras film 30 frames per second. And we were able to break down yesterday those images you saw of a person with a gun. And one of those images that we found was when he was on the ground, he still had the gun in his hand. And remember that one of the reasons why we stopped these individuals was armed robbery. And then on top of it, now you got a person involved in a chase that appears to be holding something in his waistband. And then all of a sudden, we see a weapon now being displayed and pointed at the officers. You know, our officers want to go home at the end of their shift like anybody else, and there are times you need to defend yourself.
Today, there was a protest at Hanna Park outside Utica City Hall. A large number of people were there calling for police accountability. Investigations into the Friday night incident are still ongoing. The New York State Attorney General's office is handling the criminal investigation of the shooting, and Utica police are investigating how the situation was handled from a procedural perspective. Reporting in Utica, I'm Jessica Landman, Eyewitness News.
And as officials in Utica handled the situation, we've noted that the State Attorney General's office is conducting an investigation of the shooting. They are the lead agency in the criminal investigation as required by the state law. Our Albany correspondent Jamie DeLine has this perspective on the Attorney General's involvement in the case.
Under New York state law, the Attorney General's Office of Special Investigation is required to review incidents where a police officer may have caused the death of a person. OSI has opened 17 investigations into civilian deaths this year alone, including the most recent incident in Utica.
I think it's important that we give the State Attorney General's Office time to investigate this case. It will be an independent investigation separate from us. Our department plans to fully cooperate with the AG's office. And the facts are the facts, and whatever they rule, That's really up to them.
Attorney Ryan McCall explains what is required of the AG's Office of Special Investigation under the state law that went into effect back in 2021.
The Attorney General's office is going to have access to documentation, witness statements, subpoenas, things like that, in addition to recordings. So they're going to be able to see everything that happened, not just maybe one or two snippets as to what happened in that situation.
McCall notes these investigations take time.
This is not something that's plain and simple, right? This isn't something that can happen in a couple of days. So I know there's people who want answers now, but to that I would say let the Attorney General do their job, let them see everything that happened. That way we have a final determination that's issued that we can all rely on.
The AG's office can ultimately decide to either issue a report or prosecute an officer. It's unclear exactly how long the investigation will take to complete. The Utica Police Department is also conducting its own investigation into the incident. Reporting in Albany, I'm Jamie DeLine.
And late this afternoon, it was announced that Thursday's 4th of July celebration at Proctor Park in Utica has been postponed. Out of consideration for the events of last week, the Utica Center for Development, the City of Utica, and the County of Oneida decided to postpone both the party in the park and the fireworks celebration at Proctor Park in East Utica. The parade on Genesee Street in South Utica will go on as scheduled at 10 a.m. And for more information, check out our website, cnyhomepage.com. We'll be back after this.